Hello and welcome into Holland Field here in Miamisburg, Ohio for our MVCC Game of the Week, Week 2 picks. I am Andy Horton alongside my co-host Jared Bergstrom, and this week we have a couple of leaders here at the ship. We got Easton and we got Jeremy here with us tonight to do our picks. And so our first game of the night, gentlemen, we got the Fairmont Firebirds and Trotwood. We'll go ahead, we'll start over here.
I'm going to take Trotwood in that game.
I'm taking Fairmont.
Jared?
The way Fairmont destroyed Alter last week, I got to take the Firebirds.
And I am also going to end up taking the Firebirds. They played really well last week. All right, so then our next pick is our next game is the Dublin Coffin and the Centerville Elks. Jeremy?
Centerville, they got the win over Lakota East last week. I think they'll continue that and beat Kaufman.
Yeah, Centerville.
All right, well, I'm also going to pick the Elks. So right now we got 3 Elks.
Yeah, it's going to make it a clean sweep. I'll take Centerville as well.
All right, so we got 4 Elks. Our next pick, we got Springboro and Winthrop. Jared, we'll start with you this time.
I know these two aren't going to like it, but I got to take the Panthers. The way they held on last week against Lebanon, I got to take the Panthers in this one.
All right.
Big Winthrop because they start with win.
All right.
Winthrop as well.
All right, and I'm going to have to go ahead and pick the Panthers. Sorry, guys. Our next game, we got Valley View and Milton Union. So, Jeremy?
My dad's from Milton. I'll take Milton in that game.
Yeah, I'm taking Milton.
All right, well, I got to go ahead and take Valley View. We've covered Valley View extensively in our time, and, you know, that's just a great program. They put together a lot of wins. And so, Jared?
Valley View. I'm going to take the Spartans.
All right, so we got 2 and 2 right there. Our next game, we got Northridge and Oakwood.
Northridge.
Oakwood.
All right, well, I'm going to go with Oakwood. You know, the Lumberjacks, they surprised us week 1. I think they're going to do it again.
I'll go ahead and take Northridge in this one.
All right, so that's a 2-2 split. All right. The next game is Piqua and West Carrollton.
Piqua.
Piqua.
I was about to say these two ain't going to pick West Carrollton to save their lives, but I'm going to take Piqua too. I think Piqua's a little bit more unified as a coaching right now, not the second game in for Mobley.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Pirates. I was looking at the numbers and stuff last night, and Piqua, they played Belmont last week. They had Belmont turn the ball over 3 times on their own side of the field, led to a lot of easy short fields for Piqua. That's not going to happen this week. I don't see Coach Mobley giving the ball away that much, so I'm going to pick the Pirates. And then our final game is our game tonight. It's Miamisburg and Bellbrook. I mean, I don't even know if we got to ask.
Oh, yeah, Berg by 1,000,000.
Berg by 1,000,000?
All right, I'll give a score for this one. 35 Vikings. I'll go Bellbrook 13.
All right, 35-13 there.
Well, Bellbrook, I mean, they went to the regional semifinals last year, but I got to go ahead and take the Vikings in this one. I think Miamisburg will win this one pretty good.
All right, and then I'm going to also go ahead and pick Miamisburg. Bellbrook, they lost a 2,800-yard rusher. You know, he was a senior last year, so that's going to be really hard to try and bring back some kind of production like that. So I guess that's going to do it for this week's edition of MVCC Picks. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll see you guys when we're ready to kick off.
All right, welcome to tonight's MVCC Game of the Week. For week number 2, proudly sponsored by Collins Real Estate Services, as the 0-1 Bellbrook Golden Eagles are set to take on the 1-0 Miamisburg Vikings here at Holland Field. Andy, why don't you go ahead and introduce us to Bellbrook's head coach?
Well, Jared, the Golden Eagles are coached by Jeff Jenkins, and he is in his 7th season. He is 51-14. That is about 78% of his games. For the keys to the game, what the Golden Eagles are going to have to do better, they're going to have to protect up front. They allowed 8 different tackles for a loss last week. They're also going to have to make third downs more manageable. They were 8 of 15, and they average about a 3rd and 7. Going to have to do better than that. On defense, what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to stop that bad man, Christian Davis. He had 3 different touchdowns last week. He's absolutely amazing. And then also, you're going to have to watch out for Jackson McGowan. The Cincinnati commit, he's absolutely everywhere. He's an amazing talent, and he's a great weapon for the Vikings. Jared, introduce us to the Vikings head coach.
Well, the Miamisburg Vikings are coached by Lance Schneider. This is his 4th season at the helm of the Vikings. Getting into it real quick. First, offensively for the Vikings, they got to work on penalties. They had 11 penalties last week for 95 yards. A lot of that was on the offensive side, and a lot of pre-snap penalties. They get that under managed. They should be able to at least have themselves a better chance to win this one. And then you talked about it. It's Christian Davis, and Christian Davis. He had 12 touches last week for 114 total yards and 3 touchdowns. If the Golden Eagles want to try to hang into this game, they're going to have to stop that man. Defensively, they're going to have to limit, battle of the trenches leading in to limit the rushing onslaught by the Golden Eagles. They had 222 rushing yards last week. Miamisburg gave up a lot passing last week to the Pirates. If they want to try and win this one, they're going to have to limit the rush by the Golden Eagles. And then be alert. Last week, I think we counted at least 5 times that the Vikings dropped for sure interceptions. If they want to try and win this game defensively, they're going to have to be alert on those passes because Bellbrook doesn't throw it much, but when they do throw it, it does go for big plays for them most of the time. So if Miamisburg wants to try to win this game, they got to watch out and play on their heels for the defensive side of the ball. We're going to go ahead and throw it down to the field as we get ready for tonight's national anthem. And we'll be back up for kickoff after the national anthem in our MVCC Game of the Week for week number 2.
Tonight, presenting our colors, we have a
honor guard with members of the Veterans of the Foreign Wars Post 3438 and members of the American Legion Post 165 and 598. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a country with freedoms like no other. Please stand with us as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. As the band clears off the field, the Golden Eagles are going to get the ball first. Andy, why don't you go ahead and tell us a Golden Eagle we should watch out for on the offensive side of the ball?
All right, Jared. Well, when I was looking at their numbers from last week, a guy that I kind of noticed jump off the stat sheet for me was Luke Benitez. He had about 75 yards on 17 rushes last week. He looked like their most talented offensive player here in the early going, but they also, they had 7 or 8 different guys rush the ball last week, and they had 3 different guys make passes last week. So they have a very different offense. They come at you from a lot of different angles, a lot of different directions. How about the Vikings? Who's someone that you think we should watch, maybe outside of Christian Davis?
Well, since the Vikings are going to start on defense first, I'll go ahead and give you, Baylor Stickle, he had an interception in return for 96 yards last week. Should have had about 4 or 5 more interceptions on top of that.
Yeah,
So
he had 4 other pass deflections.
I think Davis is going to be one to watch defensively here for the Vikings. So that one's fielded at about the 10. Footwork to the outside and tackled right at the 24. Let's see if we can get a number when we get a
That
chance.
was number 9, Eldon Korber, on the opening kickoff.
I think that was number 12, Nathan Ennis with the tackle there for the Vikings. And another one to watch out for. Ennis was all over the stat sheet last week for the Vikings. He ended up with 8 total tackles, 5 solo tackles, and 2.5 tackles for loss was the senior. Here's going to go a handoff to the running back in the backfield. That is number 8, Elijah Brooks.
He was also pretty efficient. Both of their running backs were pretty good with the ball. Averaged around 4 yards a carry.
And Benitez is also one that can tuck it and run as well. Going to have to watch him. I think he doubles up and plays quarterback too sometimes.
Yeah, like I said, they have a lot of different guys that like to do a lot of different things for that offense.
Benitez under center. And a quick screen pass to the outside. That looks like number 15.
Carson Lebensky.
And he will have a first down for the Eagles as he goes across the 35 out to about the 36, 37.
You really like the play call. It's a really quick screen. They got one of their playmakers out in space, and Carson Lebensky, he made a few plays last week. There you go. He's making one right out the gates.
First down, Bellbrook.
First down for the Golden Eagles, and now a little bit to build momentum on. Hand off to Brooks in the backfield. Brooks breaks through 2 tackles and tackled across the 45. And that'll be close to another first down for the Eagles as he gains 9 on the play.
Big carry by Elijah Brooks. He kind of gave a defender a shoulder there on that one. Great play, pushing through defenders. Nice pickup on that play.
So Benitez will bring him to the line. Brooks in the backfield with another running back I can't see, but Brooks will have the first down carry and will be across the first down, close to the 50.
Brooks with yet another carry. That's another first down. He's been very effective here in the early going. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 48. You got 2 wide receivers lined up to the bottom of your screen. Pitch to Brooks. He's going to take it across the 50-yard line and get hit by a slew of Vikings. Baylor Stickle was one of the guys in there on that stop. Desmond Owens also in there on the play.
We approach 9.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Bellbrook slowly, methodically moving down the field.
And you know, Jared, when I was looking at the stat sheet last night before, doing preparation for this game, they ran 69 offensive plays last week.
Jeez.
And you can kind of see why here in this early going. I mean, this is a 7 or an 8 play drive already. Brooks takes the end around, and he's going to cut up field, find some room, and he's out across the 40.
That'll be another first down run for the Eagles. That pushes them down inside the 40 to the 39. You see here in the replay, Brooks kind of got it at the end.
And Abushara in there on the tackle.
Benitez under center again. Brooks going to go in backfield in motion. Going to be a handoff to the front back. I believe that was number
48, Tanner Stewart.
Williams with the tackle for the Vikings.
See the handoff to the up man, and number 19, Tegan Williams, in there quickly in the backfield. That's one of the things we talked about. They're going to have to do a better job up front, stopping the defense from getting through that the front line.
Brooks in motion. Bennetta's going to keep it. Bennetta's fakes the pitch, cuts back up, and might get to the 35. And this is kind of what happened to the Vikings last week in West Carrollton's first drive. West Carrollton moved it, got a couple first downs, and then stalled around midfield. Bellbrook's gotten past that, and you were talking about 69 plays, and 69 offensive plays, and they only scored 10 points.
Yeah, and you just got to have better execution, especially once you get into your opponent's field goal or into your opponent's side of the field. You just have to execute better.
Well, and you're right. Two field goals last week. If Bellbrook could have capitalized, would have got them to win. And Benitez is going to fake the handoff. He's going to roll it, throw it in the middle of the field, wide open. Pass deflected away. I believe that is by number 20.
I believe it's 29.
29, that is Keith Henry.
Or no, call that number 20.
20, that is Landon Ball. Apologies. So that'll make it 4th and 6. And let's see what the Eagles do here.
That was a great play by Landon Ball. You know, he got beat on the initial coverage, but he did a great job not giving up on the play and was able to get back in there, tip that thing away.
Benitez almost put a little bit too much air under it, throw it more out in front of your receiver, and that could have been a touchdown. Quick outlet pass here to the outside, and that will be enough for a first down for the Golden Eagles.
It's Carson Lebensky again. He only had 2 catches last week. And he's got 2 here in the first drive.
And none bigger than that one there as that moves the chains for a first down for the Golden Eagles. That'll be down to about the 26, 27-yard line for Bellbrook, and 7 minutes left here and counting in the first quarter, and it almost feels like Bellbrook's getting us ready for our game next week with the Fairmont Firebirds. Long clock draining drives.
Those 15, 20 play drives like we're used to when we're out there in Trent Stadium.
Going to go back to pass. He's going to tuck it and run. Dives forward for about an extra 2 or 3 on the play.
Got down to around the 21.
And you see right here, good read there by the quarterback to fake the handoff to Brooks. And then Benitez just dives forward instead of getting hit by, that was number 9, Drew Dunaway.
Yeah, he looks like he's pretty shifty. He does a good job, you know, not taking the big hit, at least here in the early going.
Handoff here to Brooks. Brooks gets up, maybe across the line of scrimmage and maybe gains 1. Dunaway with the tackle for the Vikings. It'll be 3rd and 5 now.
Last week, Malachi Smith got quite a few touches, and we have not seen him yet on this drive. He's number 28 for the Golden Eagles. Interesting to see where he comes into play. And now I think he may be lined up.
I think he's on the field now as you say that. And Bennett's going to go back to the field, aired in the middle of the field, and incomplete. Intended to number Lebensky again. So last week he only got 2 catches, you said, and now he's getting at least 4 targets this first drive. And this one is 4th and 4, and I think the Golden Eagles are going to swap out and maybe go for an extra or a field goal here.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna go ahead and bring on that field goal kicker.
What is it, Lebensky?
I was about to ask myself.
I think Lebensky is the field goal kicker, so he does it all here.
He's
the holder. The kicker is number 84, Riley Farron. It is up, and it is good. Riley Farron connects from him. That was about a 34, 35-yard field goal, and the Golden Eagles strike first.
And, you know, you want to get a touchdown out of your first drive, but that was a really good first possession. You're able to take a lot of time off the clock, get down the field. I don't know how many plays that was, but they're well on their way to that 70 play mark that they almost hit last week. I mean, you're just able to keep your offense on the field, keep your defense off the field, do a really good job of, keeping your defense fresh.
So with 5:41 left here in our Collins Real Estate Services game of the week for week number 2. Miamisburg didn't play from behind at all last week. And it's only a field goal here you give up on the opening drive, but what do you think's going through Lance Schneider's head along the sideline?
Well, I think that what may be going through the head of Coach Schneider is that his defense, they're just going to have to be a little bit tougher. They just got ran through on that last possession. I mean, there was only a couple pass plays. They were the Golden Eagles were very efficient running the ball.
And this one's boomed into the end zone. Oh, no, they're going to let him bring it out. I thought he went into the end zone. And what a nice open field tackle there, but there's a flag as well.
Connor Smith on the return. That looked like a pretty rough tackle. We will see.
I believe that was number 12, Tanner Killen. I believe
they're calling a holding, yes.
So that'll take it from about what'd they get out to, about the 20, and that'll take it back to, I think, inside the 10.
I believe they got out to around the 16, so that's going to take them back to the 8 because it's half the distance, right? Big penalty on the first kickoff return for the Vikings. And this is the exact opposite of how they started last week's game. Last week, they blocked a punt on the first possession, and they got great field position. They started inside the Pirates' 40. Now this time, they're starting inside their own 10.
I believe that's Barr back to pass, throws it to the outside, complete to number 4, Drew Copsey. And that might pick up about 4 or 5 on the play.
And that's number 4, Copsey's 4th catch of the season. He was really effective last week. You know,
had a touchdown as well.
Yeah, he had a touchdown, and you know, he's a guy who has a really big impact on a game without him having the most touches because he played really well. He's a good blocker. He really plays his part.
Still nobody in the backfield. Now Davis comes to the backfield, going to get the handoff there.
Come around the
and
edge.
Upended there by number
40.
He lifts 40 for the Golden Eagles, Jacob Umina.
And that was a really nice stop by Umina. Davis did a little jump cut, tried to get back inside of him, and he was just able to get just enough of him that he was able to slow Davis down and bring him to the ground.
I'm going to say he actually got back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 5 here for Miamisburg, and not even holding the ball for a minute and a half. You're leery about going 3 and out real quick. Barr back to pass. Middle of the field. It is incomplete. In and out of the hands of, I believe that was Davis, actually.
Yes, that was Christian Davis, and that was a really nice job by the linebacker there.
That was threading the needle.
I did not catch the number. Yes, it was a tight. It was a tight window. He was able to get it in there, but it was a great defense by the linebacker, not allowing Davis to pull that thing in. And just like you said, a 3 and out to start the game, a complete flip of what we had last week.
Not really how you want to start your first game at home on the new season. It's a low snap, bounced along the ground. That one almost got blocked. But Bellbrook's
going to be short, and we're going to see where they mark it off at.
They're going to, well, he's at the 40 now and still walking forward. Bellbrook is going to have excellent starting field position at Miamisburg's 35. And part of me thinks that kick might have been at least tipped the way the linebacker came. I think that was number 40 again, Jacob Umina.
That's what I was thinking, Jared. It looked like that thing got out of there a little late. That's one of the problems with those rugby kicks. You know, they take an extra couple seconds to get off because you take your few steps sideways, and then
Well, I don't think it was really intended to be that. The ball skipped to him on the ground. As here's an end around with number 12. Tanner Killen, and he will have about a gain
Killen,
of
the ball
6.
carrier.
He's going to carry defenders across the 30. It's going to be his first touch of the game.
Be a gain of 5 on the play for Killen and the Golden Eagles.
And this Golden Eagles team, maybe they weren't so happy about that loss last week. They're coming out early, and they look like they mean business.
Well, like you said, Jeff Jenkins is 51-14 in 7 years, and last year with almost a 3,000-yard rusher, and Seth Borney, as that carry goes up the middle, and we'll have a big first down, or a hard-fought first down.
Tanner Stewart on that carry again. He looks like he's the fullback of this team, just chugging right through.
See right there, he just plows through.
And he just keeps his legs churning, gets hit by multiple
I
Vikings.
think Stickle finally got him down.
You know, and who else would it be other than Baylor Stickle? In the first 2 weeks of this season, or first week and a half, week and a quarter of this season, we've caught his names dozens of
Stewart
times.
to carry again up the middle. Ball's he stays on his feet.
And he's still chugging.
And he's going to be down inside the 5 to about the 4.
And Tanner Stewart is giving energy to these Golden Eagles as he just refuses to go down on their way into the red zone and inside the 10-yard line.
Now, this might show my age, but I mean, that run right there reminds me of the old Mike Allstott run for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the early 2000s. He'd get hit up high, and he'd just bounce off you and go for another 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, what was that? And you didn't even feel it.
Right. It didn't look like it affects Stewart either, as Ben Ennis is going to go back to pass all day to throw.
Whips it outside.
And it is
That's
incomplete.
Great defense there. I believe that's Simeon Cruz.
You see here in the replay. Oh, this is Stewart's run.
And see, he trips up right there. And who else was it? It was Baylor Stickle.
And he didn't get him down that time.
Baylor Stickle is going to get 100 tackles this season.
He might get that by week 5. Way he's all over the field for the defense.
But yeah, that was a really nice play by Cruz, able to knock that ball away at the last second.
And not get the penalty called against him. And here's an end around with Brooks. Brooks cuts it back in at the 5, and Brooks in untouched. And Bellbrook an extra point away from going up 10-0 here in the first quarter of the Miamisburg Vikings.
Well, so far, these keys of the game been pretty accurate. I mean, Protect better up front. Only one rush for a loss so far. Well, only one play for a loss so far in this game. The offensive line is doing a great job blocking up front, making plenty of room. The third downs have been plenty manageable.
It works out perfectly when your keys of the game go along with how they're executing in the first quarter. You see across the way the marching band for the Golden Eagles as that extra point is up and good. And with 2:31 left here in the opening quarter, Bellbrook leading 10-0 and stunning the Vikings here on their first home game of the new season.
Yeah, it is definitely a slight shock. I was not expecting this kind of a first quarter. I thought it would be a little more back and forth. But so far, the defense of the Golden Eagles was
That's the difference
suffocating.
maker. That defense got them pinned back, or got the Vikings offense pinned back deep in the end zone, or in their own end zone of the field.
Well, and then another key, like we talked about, was the penalties. They had
That one penalty.
They had one offensive possession, and one penalty screwed the whole thing up. Really, really made it tough on that possession. Got to be more disciplined.
So now trailing 10-0. What has to happen here for the Vikings offensively when they come out of this?
Well, I mean, let's just go straight to the penalties. You can't kick yourself, especially when you're down in your own side of the field. I mean, you just have to not make those mistakes because you're not gonna allow yourself to get into a rhythm. And last week they scored 62 points when they got into a rhythm. Just allow yourself to play your game.
That ball is short, going to the sideline, and Miamisburg should have let that one go out. That would have been a penalty, and they would have got it at about the 35.
Yeah, that looked like it was a pretty big mistake there by the return man.
I think that was
That was John Smith.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be
Connor
returned.
Smith, rather. Sorry.
Wasn't really probably expecting to field the ball at the 20 instead of, the first kick took him to the end zone. So now Miamisburg comes back out on their second offensive possession. I think we got to go into the keys of the game, and you're going to have to give it to Christian Davis.
Well, and you see this time it's not Preston Barr going out with the offense.
Is it
it's Brock Vaughn
again?
Yeah. So we're going to see what Brock Vaughn has, the senior. Up the middle to Christian Davis. And there's not a lot of room, but he's going to keep fighting. Pickup of about 2 or 3. Vincent Hummel, number 69, in on the stop.
2nd and 9 from the 21. Here, Vaughn coming in late.
It kind of looked like he had problems getting the play in. 9 seconds on the play clock.
This one might be heading to a timeout for the. Well, they get it off, and here's an end around with Copsey. And Copsey.
Ooh. He's going to get leveled
was a
there at the end of the
big
play
hit.
by Sam Barnhorst. Barhorst.
3rd and 5 here coming up. And I like this run. You see Davis takes off. At least 2 people go to the outside with him. But you see Barhorst just comes in and levels him.
Along with Tanner Killen, he was also in there on the stop. That was aggressive defense.
3rd and 5 here. I think you got to go. You got to at least look the way of McGowan. I mean, this is a big 3rd down with a minute left here in the first quarter.
3 seconds.
Middle of the field, incomplete, intercepted.
That is number 9, Eldon Korber.
And Bellbrook's defense is taking advantage of these Vikings miscues here early. 54 seconds left, and Bellbrook, excellent starting field position at the Miamisburg 32.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure who the intended target on that play was.
I think it was McGowan, and it was a high pass
right
up off his
between
shoulder.
hands. And
Or actually, it was intended to Dunaway.
this is a tough start for the Vikings after they were just dominant in all phases last week.
Brooks in motion. Benitez back to pass. Benitez hit as he threw.
Barely got that thing away.
And that's
That's
to
Korber again.
Korber. And that'll be a first down run inside, or first down catch and run inside the 20.
Korber caught the last pass on defense. He catches that one on offense. And a great job there by Benitez to get that
He
ball
just
away
stands
last
in
second. The pocket was collapsing on him. Teagan Williams was, breathing down his neck, and it didn't even look like he knew he was there.
I don't think he knew he was there until he got hit. I mean, that offensive line protected excellent there for
Well, and
Benitez.
maybe he did, and if he did, that is great pocket presence.
If we talked to him after, he go, oh, yeah, I knew he was there, but even in the back of his mind, no. Then
That's
here's
definitely what I would say.
Tanner Killen.
And Killen
gets
got
to
a
the 10.
big hit by Baylor Stickle there at the end. But who else?
But Baylor Stickle. We're talking all defense is Baylor Stickle and all offense is Christian Davis.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a hard pick for G-Walk all defense. Baylor Stickle's going to be the starting safety.
Game in the quarter. So we approach the end of the first quarter. Let's see if Bellbrook tries to get one last play off. There's a 3-second difference between play clock and game clock.
These guys ran 69 plays last week. They're getting this play off.
And here's the handoff to Brooks up the middle. Brooks bursts through, will have the first down. And that one will do it for the end of the first quarter. Bellbrook leading 10-0 and driving on the Miamisburg Vikings here in our Collins Real Estate Services game of the week. Andy, as we go into the second quarter, what do you think is going through the mindset of Lance Schneider and this coaching staff trying to get back into this game?
I feel like they're shell shocked. I mean, they were so good last week. They were so much more physical than the Pirates, and then this week they're just being outplayed in all facets of the game. Their defense is not being physical enough to stop this rushing attack of the Golden Eagles, and their offense, they're not staying on the field long enough to give their defense time to figure something out. So it's going to have to start just from the offense. They're going to have to maybe try and sustain something, get this defense a little bit of a break, because right now, they've been on the field the whole game. So
they're lucky the first quarter, and so just so they can get some time off.
Yeah, just so
get
they
some
can
water,
try
and they got to
figure something out.
Miamisburg coming out, and we knew Bellbrook was a good team, but looking at them before the game, Miamisburg almost, I would say, outnumbers them 2-1 on players, and Miamisburg is definitely the bigger size school, but Bellbrook is just pushing they're matting the gas pedal and not letting off right now.
Well, and we talked before the game that their running back last year had 2,700 yards and 3,000 all-purpose yards. He got a slow start to the season. And last week,
it wasn't until week 3 he got over 100 yards.
Yeah, and last week you can consider 75 yards, I guess, a slow start to the season, because I mean, right now, Brooks is just running. Elijah Brooks is just running all over this field.
Quarterback keeper up the middle, and that will be enough for a first down. So we look on from our end zone camera here. You see Baylor Stickle right there, number 1 for the Vikings in blue, right in the middle of the defense.
Oh, and he wears number 1 because he is the one guy that matters on this defense. I mean, he's a leader. He makes all sorts of plays. I think I said earlier, 4 pass defenses last week.
At least, yeah.
He's already got 1 or 2 tonight. I mean,
and a handful of tackles.
He's just all over the field. He's the type of guy that any, defensive coordinator wants on the field. Wants to be on his side of the.
And Bellbrook is going to call a timeout here. 11:27 left here in the first half. It'll be first and goal from the 4. And we talked about how, last year Baylor Stickle had the game of his life against West Carrollton week 1. Had an 80-yard touchdown run and I think another 50-some-yard touchdown catch.
Yep.
But I like this move from offense to defense for him. Because, you can tell, when he was on offense, he wouldn't take the cut to go out. He wanted to hit someone. So I think moving him to free safety / he's almost playing at a linebacker position as well with how close he is most of the time. I like this move by Schneider putting him at linebacker because now he can hit people and not really get penalized for it.
Yeah, he's almost playing that honey badger role where, he's not playing a true safety role. He's doing whatever it is that his coaches are asking him to do, and that's making him such a valuable player.
And I tell you what, this Bellbrook student section has come out in full force. They're almost all the way to the top of their side, and they've been a lot louder. Brooks with the pitch. Brooks gets pushed down to about the 3.
He's going to be tackled by Fletcher Rose, number 28, was the first Viking in there to make the stop.
But you saw number 72, Sam Vine, his own offensive lineman, you'll see here at the end of the replay. He was there to push him.
And Brooks, really nice patience.
Right there, we're just going to go a little bit forward. And here, handoff to Brooks. Brooks tampers in for another 2-yard score. And Bellbrook is up 16-0. And Miamisburg I've never seen them get off to this slow of a start.
And we're just barely through 1 quarter, and the Golden Eagles are just...
look at this line push by the Golden Eagles.
Running rush shot.
Brooks goes in untouched again.
There's at least 2 different times where they've been down on the goal line, and Brooks has just been able to scamper through his offensive line completely untouched.
Extra point is up and good, and Bellbrook leads 17-0. I think if you're Miamisburg coming out and you can't afford to go 3 and out, if not, you're going to have to go for it just to give your defense some rest. You've definitely got to call a couple running plays here because this defense, you can tell, is looking tired.
I think they're just going to have to go to their 2 offensive stars, Christian Davis and Jackson McGowan, try and get them in some space and just be like, hey, guys, right now we just need you guys to make plays for us because it's not happening any other way right now. I'm interested to see which quarterback comes out on this possession because in the first week or so we've
Brock
seen
was the passer last
alternating.
week, and then Preston was more of the mobile quarterback. Well, right now this Bellbrook defense is getting through, so you ain't having any luck running the ball, so maybe coming out with Brock again. He seems to have the stronger hand passing it wise. As this one is kicked off middle of the field, fielded by Smith at about the 3, and he has a return to the right side, and he runs into his own man, it looks like, at about the 18 or 19.
And sometimes when you got a train wreck going, things just you just can't
just
get out of your own
derails.
way.
It's like they had a hole to the outside, and the Bellbrook defender played it well and just kept pushing his blocker that way to try to get to the returner, and the returner, Smith, ran into him himself. As we're going to see Barr come back out onto the field. Well, last week we did see a couple plays where they both were out there. Brock Vaughn's not out there now, but definitely something to keep an eye on.
Well, when you got 2 different quarterbacks that are great playmakers, having them on the field together.
Barr
just
going to hand it to Davis.
give a
Davis
little
bounces
extra.
to the outside, cuts it back in and hit hard, but might get a gain of 1 after all that dancing in the backfield.
Sam Barhorst and Jacob Umina there, they did a great job. They stopped Christian Davis on the initial push there in the
Watch
backfield.
this pop
right
Davis
there.
takes right here.
They do a great job slowing him
He
down.
cuts back in.
Did a great job slowing Davis down, so he's only able to pick up a
Gain of 2, but you see it took 3 Miamisburg people to block those 2 for the Golden Eagles. Barr's going to keep this on. Barr running to the right. Barr chased out of the backfield. He has enough and will be close. There's a late flag coming in as well.
Killen.
Looks like he might have gotten a little bit of a push out of bounds. I'm not sure.
The luck of being here at Miamisburg, we can tune in and hear the refs, so let's see what he says.
On the Miamisburg Vikings, they're walking backwards, so I'm assuming this is not good.
There's a personal foul against Miamisburg. Let's see what the ref says, though. So it was a personal foul. I think, did he say chop block on Connor Smith?
I think I heard helmet to helmet maybe. I'm not sure.
Penalty on the Vikings. Takes the ball back to the 9-yard line.
That'll push Miamisburg back inside their own 10. It'll be second and a lot from the 9. Second and about 15.
Barr
Back to pass, throws it middle of the field, caught enough for a first down
And
for Jackson
the
McGowan.
first sighting of the big man, and no other situation would have been any bigger. Had to pick up that first down right there.
Well, hold on, there is a flag on the play.
Way in the backfield.
So it'll be a false start against Miamisburg. We talked about the penalties, and Miamisburg's been called for 3 penalties, and each one of them bigger than the one before. And if you're Miamisburg, this is not where you want to be seen, in the shadows of your own end zone.
Just right now having problems getting out of their own way. Ball on the 4-yard line.
Second and 20 from the 4.
Christian Davis lined up in the backfield.
Barr back to pass for the Vikings. Looking in the middle of the field, throws it, and it is intended to McGowan.
It's too high. And Jackson McGowan is a jump ball wide receiver, that's for sure. But
That one,
I mean,
a
that
little
one was
bit too high for McGowan
just
himself.
just a hair too high.
I mean, we've seen him make those miraculous one-handed catches. He did one against Alter last year. And he had the one. Springboro's only loss on their road to state was to this Miamisburg team. McGowan had an insane one-handed catch in the end zone with about 30 seconds left. So it'll be 3rd and 20 from the 4 of Miamisburg. Barr back to pass. Barr
The rush is
pushed
coming.
rushed out of the pocket, has a hold of the outside, and Barr will be close to a first down.
Oh, did he get that? And if so, it's all because of Drew Copsey.
The refs are not measuring it. They say he's going to, looks like about a yard, not a yard, but it's close.
Great job by Barr to scramble out at the right time. Gets a great block by Copsey. And, yeah, it looks like he's going to be short,
But you about a half a yard short.
but you got to love the effort.
Well, that's actually going to be 3 yards short, actually.
They're going to call it 4th and 3, and the Vikings are going for it.
I think this one might be a ploy to try to draw him off sides, because Barr doesn't go under center much, and that is exactly what that was.
Great call, Jared.
Hey, you learned a thing or two doing this for 10 years, Andy. I mean, I agree with it. I mean, definitely. I mean, that would have been a automatic first down if they could have got him to jump. And you see Miamisburg already is putting out the long snapper and the punter, as the punter will be the... Is that Baylor Stickle back there? Good Lord, Baylor Stickle does it all. You see there, number 37, Aiden Dyer, back in there to block 2 at the thing. Bellbrook better watch out.
He's
I mean,
one of the
if
captains
you
of
get
this
behind
team.
him, you could run it for a fake.
Oh,
And they're going to do it. And Miamisburg will have the
And
first
Stickle's
down
gonna
and
get the first
more.
down. He's still going. He's across the 35, and he's finally going to be pulled down by Jaden Wheatley, number 11 for the Golden Eagles. And who other than Baylor?
Hold on.
We
There's a
see the
flag on
laundry
play
come
again.
out.
Oh, my goodness. That could be a face mask.
Or the refs are having a conference, so we will see. Let's see if we can see it on the MVCC Game of the Week replay. And you can see the whole way he's ready to take off. He makes a couple defenders miss, sheds another tackler, number 24, Paul Smith. And a personal foul on the Vikings.
It is a first
Penalty
down,
on the
though.
Vikings, but there will be a first down.
Must be after the play.
It was after the play.
And what a relief for Vikings fans.
I
But
did not
you
see
gotta
last week.
stop.
I did not see Dyer at all in the backfield on a punt, and that just, I mean, you get behind him, that's like another fullback out there, and
Two calls in a row.
two calls in a row.
Jared.
I'll give myself a point for that one as Davis bounces it to the outside. Davis has a first down run.
Doing your best Tony Romo impression.
Yeah, right. You see here, Jim. Now the Vikings are going to have to. No, but I mean, back-to-back first down plays here for the Vikings, trying to get something going, build a little bit momentum.
And right there by Christian Davis, one of the better plays of the game, maybe just the best offensive play of the game. Oh, and Barr's going to have the ball knocked away. He's going to be able to pick it up, and he's scrambling.
At this point, I would have tried to throw it just in the middle of the field.
There's a.
That's not a flag. That's a marker because the ball came out. We
I
all were
stopped
looking at it.
I stopped myself.
That's about a 7 or 8 yard loss.
It's Christian Davis trying to get a block, but not quite able to get enough body on him.
And you see the Vikings linemen were kind of like acting, tell him to throw it away, and that's a loss of 9 on the play. Copsey goes in motion. Copsey gets the carry to the outside, and he is upended at the 20, and that'll be a loss of 2.
He's going to be folded over by Korber. Talk about calling names a lot. We've called his name at least 5 or 6 times.
Third down, Vikings.
In Miamisburg, 2 momentums, or 2 big plays, and went backwards since. Third and 21 here from the 21. Vaughn in the backfield, or Barr in the backfield. Barr rolls to the right, has some time to throw, throws it down the middle of the field, and it is almost hauled in by Jackson McGowan. Throws it in quadruple coverage,
And, you know, that
and he still almost comes up with it.
that one's just on McGowan. He just dropped that one. That one hit him right in the hands. He's a great player, and he normally does not make that mistake.
So now it'll be 4th and 21.
You said quadruple coverage, but it was a nice play by Barr to even to be able to get the ball in there.
4th and 21 from the 21, and I don't think we're going to see a sneak play here.
Probably not this time.
Stickle gets this one away. Nice end over end kick. And this one's going to
Take a Viking roll.
roll inside the 40 to about the 38. And Bellbrook, they haven't seen their offense for a little bit. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You give them time to rest.
But then, like we've already said, you know, you give
Give your
the Viking
defense time to
defense
rest.
time to rest. Maybe try and figure something out. See if they have an answer for Elijah Brooks.
And really, Brooks is the one that gets, I mean, he gets credit for the 2 touchdowns, but I mean, it's been, what was his number 40 for the Eagles, Tanner Stewart. Or no, sorry, 48, Tanner Stewart. A lot of plays down the field, and here Brooks gets a carry to the outside, dances back towards the middle of the field and gets about a gain of 4, or about a gain of 6. Will be second and 4.
This Bellbrook offensive line has just done such a great job in this game, just clearing holes, and not even necessarily big holes, but they're doing just enough to move guys out of the way, create creases for Brooks, and
Right there.
There were 3 offensive
dances
linemen
through
right
3
there,
people.
just push their defenders 10 yards downfield, able to allow a lot of room for their dangerous running
Brooks
back.
in motion, gives it to the up band, and there's a flag on the play.
And he's still going.
Stickle with a tackle there. That was number 18. No, that was Stewart, sorry, with the carry.
Stick on the stop, there is a flag.
You gotta love carries like that by Stewart. He just doesn't stop those legs from churning.
They call them power backs for a reason, and that's why he just keeps the power going forward. That was a hold on offense, number 75, I think, Carson Romel, for the Golden Eagles, and I think that's the first flag called against them. So that'll take it to 2nd and 13. It was a spot penalty, so only about a loss of 6 on the play.
Finally, something goes the Vikings' way. 7 minutes here left in the first half.
Here goes the handoff to number 12. That is Tanner Killen, and he might get a gain of 2 on the play.
Get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Aiden Dyer with the stop there for the Vikings. And that's another one that's going to be all G-Walk honors and for defense when it comes to the end of the season.
Yeah, this Viking team has so many playmakers, especially on the defensive end.
As you hear the Viking horn blare across Holland Field,
Trying to
that
get
means
this
it's
group to
3rd
rally.
down. 3rd and 8 from the 39.
A lot of guys up on the line of
Back to
scrimmage
pass is Benedis, and he's sacked in the backfield for a big loss. Number 9 and number 34 will split the sack. Drew Dunaway and
Aiden Gillen. Gilman.
So Miamisburg comes away with a big stop there on 3rd and long.
And for the first time, the Vikings are able to get a great push. And Dunaway was able to get there first, but then Gilman was able to come in and finish it up there at the end. Ball on the ground on the kick.
A high kick. I don't see how he got that one away. And that one, Smith, if you got I don't know if I'm taking that one. You just got to let that one bounce.
Smith has made some risky decisions here in this game. Well, not even necessarily risky. That one was risky.
That one was risky, yeah.
But then the one along the sideline here in the first quarter where they could have gotten the
head scratching, we'll say.
The delay of game, or
it would have been a penalty out of bounds because they kick off, yeah.
And would have gotten the ball at the 40.
And you see the first time Bellbrook gets to 3rd down, that's 3rd and 8, which was longer than their average last week.
They get stopped.
They got stopped by the Vikings. I guess all it took
You're
was
on
that
these
Vikings.
keys, man.
I am. For one time in 10 years, it works out. But yeah, because that was the first time we heard the Viking horn and
all game.
All game so far. And Miamisburg, with that sack, you've got to build on momentum here. As Vaughn's back there, and Davis is hit in the backfield immediately. And I don't even think it was an intentional hit. He just ran into the defender.
Connor Pund.
I mean, he drove. I don't know who that lineman was that he drove back, but he
was the second guy there, I guess. The first guy, I believe.
Looked like that was number 71 that he just pushed back. That is Parker Hoskins on that right side of the line. That was a loss of 1, and
I think the first Golden Eagle there was.
And here comes an end around Copsey. And Copsey, Bellbrook read that one perfectly and blows it up in the backfield for about a loss of 2 more, or at least 3 on the play.
Did the Golden Eagles get the Vikings playbook before this game?
I don't know. People, you called me Tony Roman. I got 2 plays in the right row for the Vikings.
There's just been nowhere to go this entire game.
There, and, not diminishing the Southwest Buckeye League at all, but, you would not think that a G-Walk team would have this much struggle against a swivel team when Miamisburg is definitely oversized compared to them.
Well, and they've definitely come out and shown that size
Back
does
to
not
pass,
always
middle
matter.
of the field, hauled in by Copsey at midfield.
Great catch by Drew Copsey in one of the biggest moments of the game. That's his second or third catch here tonight.
And that another double covered thrown again here by that was Vaughn. Vaughn, like we said, the passing quarterback. And Miamisburg quickly on the line. They're gonna hand it off here to Copsey, give it right back to the man who got the first down, and he'll pick up about 5 on the play.
Gets a head of steam going and delivers a big hit there at the end of that play. Malachi Smith, the defender.
Who would have thought the first time we said his name would have been on defense?
Yeah, after 17 carries last week.
Miamisburg back to line quickly, and here's Smith with a quick run, and that one will be about a loss of 2 on the play.
Just know where to go. Jacob Umina in the backfield yet again.
Those end arounds and running back or receiver, I don't know what you call them, jet sweeps, I guess, they're just not working tonight, and Miamisburg needs to crumble that page of the playbook up.
Well, and the Golden Eagles, they did a great job coming into this game, emphasizing, their ends have to be ready for those sweeps and whatnot, and they have totally been ready here in the first half.
Vaughn going to be under in shotgun, 3rd and 7 from the midfield. Throws it down to Davis. Davis makes the first man miss, cuts it back up. Davis still on his feet. Davis has a first down for the Vikings and gets pushed out of bounds at about the 35.
Connor Pudd, the last guy there to knock him out of bounds, and you see the senior running back and all the different things he can do. Stutter step here.
We approach 3 minutes left here in the first half. Miamisburg looking to not just build momentum going into the locker room, but get points, and this is kind of the area of the football game. I call it the Bill Belichick time. Is you score before the last of the half, and you see here Smith is going backwards. Score the last couple minutes before the half, and then you get the ball to start the second half, and if it plays out right, you score on both.
Yeah, and you can really change how, the complexion of a game if you can take care of the first or of the last couple minutes of the first half and the first couple minutes of the second half. You can really turn things around. I'll tell you what, I think Connor Smith is just not the guy to go to right now. He's struggled almost every time he's touched the ball.
That's another one of those off the ends runs. As you see here, they fake it that time.
Vaughn, Umina almost, he was there for him.
Vaughn just got to get rid of it and almost completes it to McGowan, and the home stand is looking for a flag as they kind of went through McGowan to get to swat the ball.
Tanner Killen there on the defense.
It'll be 3rd and 12.
Nice job keeping the ball away from McGowan.
Because if he could have got that, McGowan would have caught that, he could have easily had a touchdown. There was nobody really back there else besides Killen.
3rd and 12, ball on the 39.
Vaughn back to pass. Vaughn, I don't know if he saw it.
Gets
McGowan
out of the way
with
just
a
in
catch.
time. McGowan racing to the corner. Cuts back.
And he has a touchdown, his first of the season.
Vikings. What a play there by Brock Vaughn. Staying in there to the very last second. Gets killed by Vincent Hummel at the end of the play. He's able to get that thing away just in time. And McGowan was absolutely wide open. No one between him and the end zone. He's not the fastest guy. You saw he had to cut it back from the corner. But, man, he's hard to stop. There's no way those 3 guys had a chance.
Vaughn, like you said, stepped up in the pocket, and I thought he was going to get blown up before he could get the pass off, but gets it out. And
you talk about pocket presence by the senior leader.
And that ball, did he make that? No, he didn't. I think that one was pushed to the left. So 17-6 now, the Vikings trailing the Bellbrook Golden Eagles. 2:08 left here in the first half. If you're Miamisburg, you got your defense some rest, and now you hope that they can come out and get one last stop here before the half ends.
Well, they still have 2 timeouts, so if you can get a quick stop, you can get the ball back and maybe try and score. This first half isn't over, and the Vikings could really turn things around here in the closing minutes.
Well, that missed extra point, that's going to ultimately be a decision that you're going to have to go for 2 to try and tighten this game up eventually down the road.
And we're going to see if that extra point plays big in the later stages.
First on the kick for the Vikings to kick this off, and I think the Bellbrook section kind of shrunk a little bit. Everybody caved in a little bit more to the front. That one fielded it, and that one's a loose ball, but fell on at the 22.
And that one was a little dangerous for the Golden Eagles.
Kind of in between the back returner or the far back returners and then people who aren't expecting to get the ball.
And that ball took a weird bounce. Kind of took Bellbrook a minute to get on top of that.
And that could have been a huge play for the Vikings if they could have got down there and at least maybe hit the defender before he got there, maybe loosen the ball. .206 left here in the first half. Our MVCC Game of the Week, week number 2, presented by Collins Real Estate Services, is a pitch out here to Brooks. Brooks cuts it back in and tackled at about the 25, maybe the 26. So we're under 2 minutes left now, and
Baylor Stickle again making that play. He started.
We'll
he started
announce when
on
somebody else.
He
tackles.
started on our side of the field, Jared, and he makes it all the way across the field and is over there to make the stop. I mean, he's just everywhere.
It might be easier just to announce when somebody else besides Stickle gets a tackle, and there I think actually might have been one. He might have got a yard. That's Dyer with the stop there for the Vikings, and it'll be third down. I'm surprised Miamisburg didn't take a timeout there. Unless they're content with having that touchdown going into the half with some of that momentum.
Well, and I think maybe they know that the Golden Eagles like going up tempo. So if they're able to just get the stop right here, you know, they're gonna get the ball back with one timeout. I mean, I'm assuming they'll stop the ball.
Yeah.
Or I'm assuming they'll stop the clock with one of their timeouts if they get the stop here.
There's about a 5-second difference between game clock and play clock, and that's a false start. That should stop the clock, and that'll push them back 5 yards.
It's going to be 3rd and 10. They're past that 3rd and 7. It's going to see if the Vikings can get this stop.
So 54 seconds left, and now the clock won't start until the ball is snapped. And I guess that's why you don't call the timeout. You make them go in and with the clock running, and
big decision right there by the Vikings to hold on to that timeout.
And I mean, really, if they would have hiked it and then got the ball, I mean, about the same time on the clock. I mean, penalty was thrown at about 57, 56. So almost the same as Benitez back to pass. Looks downfield.
He throws deep.
Wide open and just too far out of the reach.
That was Jude Omake.
I believe that is Omake. So Miamisburg will get 47 seconds left and 2 timeouts.
He was wide open down the seam, but it was just too far over his head.
Quarterback got a little bit happy. He's like, oh, he's that wide open.
Yeah, just got a little too excited on that one.
And here
the kick is off, and it's going to go well over Christian Davis's head and bounce inside the 10-yard line.
And smart play there by Bellbrook to not touch it immediately and take another 2 or 3 seconds off the clock.
Where was the punter standing when he kicked that thing?
He was at about the 20. I would say about the 20. So
It's like a 70-yard punt.
It well bounced way over Smith's head. So as the last 33 seconds here in our MVCC Game of the Week, week number 2 for the first half, presented by Collins Real Estate Services. If you're Miamisburg, do you try to do anything here, or I mean, this far back in your
got to take one shot, use at least one play
at the 6? I don't.
Looks like they got McGowan lined up on the outside.
Man, McGowan up to the top of your screen. Copsey's going to go in motion up that way. Vaughn going to hand it off to Davis in the backfield.
Oh, that one is Connor Smith.
And there is going to be how the first half. Let's see, in case they try to line up and do anything. And no, I saw Lance. He has the headset off, and So that will be how the first half will end. Bellbrook got out to a quick 17-0 lead, but Miamisburg scored there late, and the Vikings will get the ball to start the second half. We are going to take a brief break as the bands will be coming out onto the field, and we will be back for your second half of your MVCC Game of the Week for week number 2, presented by Collins Real Estate. Miamisburg trailing 17-6 going into the half.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellbrook Marching Eagles. Marching Eagles enjoy a long history of top success and have been named Bands of America National Champions 8 times in their class. The band would like to wish the Miamisburg Band the best of luck for a successful fall season and school year.
You can access MVCC from your Roku. Looking at the home page, select the Add Channels option. This will take you to the Roku channel store where you can find the Search Channel option on the left side of the screen. Enter in the word Screenweave and the Cablecast icon will pop up. This is a free channel, and it is where you will find different PEG access programming, including MVCCs. Once you add the channel, you can find it on your home screen with all of your other favorites. Inside Screenweave, you will find the Miami Valley Communications Council, among other access channels. Browse through pre-recorded council meetings or check out what is happening in any of our 4 MVCC channel streams.
The Miamisburg Viking Marching Band is proud to present the first 2 movements of their 2022 competition show, A Thirst For, featuring original music by Andrew Markworth. The band will be led on the field by drum majors Libby Beller, Megan Homan, Marissa Johnson, and Skylar Gregerson. Please welcome the Miamisburg Viking Marching Band.
direction of Steve Aylward, Ryan Wintersheimer, Andrew Whitman, and Alex Catablu. The color guard director is Heather Beltran, and the dress director is Alex Beltran. The Viking Band will perform next Saturday at the Northmont Band Premiere at 8:30.
You can access MVCC from your Roku. Looking at the home page, select the Add Channels option. This will take you to the Roku channel store where you can find the Search Channel option on the left side of the screen. Enter in the word Screenweave and the Cablecast icon will pop up. This is a free channel, and it is where you will find different PEG access programming, including MVCCs. Once you add the channel, you can find it on your home screen with all of your other favorites. Inside Screenweave, you will find the Miami Valley Communications Council, among other access channels. Browse through pre-recorded council meetings or check out what is happening in any of our 4 MVCC channel streams.
As we get ready to kick off the second half, and a quick recap of the first half of our game of the week for the first half. Bellbrook jumped out real quick, and then Miamisburg fought back, and definitely I'd say that second quarter was won by the Vikings.
Yeah, definitely the second half of that second quarter, the Vikings really looked a lot more comfortable. They were able to get things going a little bit on offense. They were still kind of getting in their own way, but they did a much better job there closing out the first half.
Andy, you want to really real quick before we get going in the second half, go over some scores for our MVCC Game of the Week picks?
All right. Well, so for our first game, we got the Fairmont Firebirds and the Trotwood Rams. Fairmont is up 24-6. The Centerville the Centerville Elks. Wow.
That's next week, Andy.
Yeah, the Centerville Elks and the Dublin Kaufman. Centerville is up 27-0. Piqua and West Carrollton, the Pirates are down 51-0 at half. Springboro is up 27-0 over Winthrop. Milton Union, surprisingly, up 17-7 over Valley View right now. We'll have to keep an eye out on that one. And then Northridge is up 13-0 over Oakwood. And so that is our MVCC Week 2 picks.
So I think, what was that? You only got one wrong so far? And I think I've got one wrong so far going into at the first half, or at the end of the first half, or at halftime for most of those scores.
Yeah, as long as Valley View turns that thing around.
And Miamisburg's got to turn around for us, or I don't know if I'm picking the headgear pick ever again.
Yeah.
As Bellbrook kicks this one off, and this is another, and that should have been a touchback.
Had a couple feet
but
there. But
Miamisburg will take it out to about the 27, 28-yard line.
Connor Smith, his best
I guess
return
he said,
here.
I don't want the touchback. Let me run.
Yeah, and that was his best return so far here of the game. He was able to nearly get out to the 30.
The only thing I can think of is maybe if his momentum is not carried into the end zone is the only thing why they're letting him run it out.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what it is, but they've been letting him run it out.
You see Vaughn hands it off to, I believe that is Akio Perry.
And there is nowhere for their big fullback to go.
That'll be about a loss of 1.
And Akio Perry, we saw him a few different times.
A couple touches last week against West Carrollton.
And he's really their change of pace back. He does a really nice job knocking defenders off of their spots. And, he kind of softens up the defense a little bit for Christian Davis.
He definitely makes that linebacker play back about a yard when he's on the field. He don't want to be run over by Perry.
Yeah, definitely got to.
And he stays in the game.
Second.
Perry stays in the block. And that one is incomplete and jarred loose at the end. That was intended to number 19, Tegan Williams, but looked like it was knocked out. I believe that was number 20, Sam Barhorst.
Yeah, and Barhorst, he's made a couple of nice plays here on the defensive end throughout this game. That was the first time we've seen Keegan Williams targeted so far tonight. So,
and just like that, real quick, Miamisburg 3rd and 11, and not even a minute into this third quarter, and Miamisburg in jeopardy of going 3 and out.
And this is kind of something that we talked about, just they're going to have to stay on the field.
Vaughn back to pass, evades 2 hits, throws it out, complete to Copsey. And he will have enough for a first down.
Get it across the 40, out to around the 42. Great play by Copsey. And a really nice play by Vaughn. He was able to... Great play by Vaughn. He was able to keep that play alive.
You see number 6, Luke Cozens. He drug himself off the field, and that might be a cramp. But you see here, watching this replay, Vaughn, I thought Vaughn was going to be sacked, and thought he was. Did he throw that with the opposite hand?
And that's the second time. I think so. And that's the second time where Vincent Hummel has had a sack in his grasp, and he has not been able to come away with it.
Yeah, that touchdown pass Vaughn had right before into the second quarter. Gonna hand it off with an end around here. Davis knocks back, stays on his feet, and gonna be back tackled for about a loss back to the 34.
Christian Davis got popped big time right there. I'm not sure who the first guy there was, but Jake Lopez was the guy who was able to come in and finish that thing off, number 33. We'll see on the replay.
You see right there, that was number 40, Jacob Umina. And then finished up there by number 33, Jake Lopez.
And Umina, he made a lot of really nice plays in the second half, or in the first half. You know, he's been really nice on the edge there for the Golden Eagles. Really done a great job.
Flag on the play. McGowan gets the first down, or not the first down, but he'll be back across the original line of scrimmage and more.
He's going to keep churning up to around the 47. There's a flag down, so we'll see what happens.
Since they let it play, I think that's in the area of offsides.
And I see one of the refs motioning, and I believe you're correct.
Penalty on the Vikings.
It's going to be a false start, rather.
Then if you're the refs, you have to blow that whistle and blow that play dead. There's no sense in the players finishing that play, and what happens if one of them would have got hurt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing, Jared. Great point.
So that'll push it back.
Especially a guy like Jackson McGowan. I mean, he's got...
Luke Fickle might be on the phone call with some
exactly.
of these OHSA refs like, hey, I get him next year. Leave it. Don't let him get hurt.
He's going to be a star.
So Vaughn back to pass. Vaughn throwing into the middle of the field, hauled in by McGowan. And McGowan gets right back to where he was from the previous play.
I think it was the exact same spot, and that was a really nice play by Vaughn. Once again, Hummel, I believe, was right there almost there for the sack, but he's just a step slow on almost every single one of these plays. He's doing a great job getting penetration, but he's not quite able to finish off.
2nd and 23 turns into 3rd and 4 here for the Vikings. And they've got to pick this one up to try to get back into this game. Vaughn back to pass. Vaughn rolls to the right. Vaughn stops, stands up, and Vaughn takes a huge hit in the back. And now I think Omena finally got home there, Andy.
You know, it took them a while to finally be able to get their first sack of the game, but they've had pressure a lot here in these last few plays, and Omena able to get in there. He's made so many big plays here in this game.
That was a 10-yard loss.
Makes it 4th and 14.
Stickle boots that one away. That one fielded and Perry down there to hit, and there
is Korber on the return.
Korber on the return. Rose on the stop.
Rose with the tackle for the Vikings, and Bellbrook will start this field possession, or this possession, out at about the 27, 28-yard line. The refs are huddled up for some reason. I don't see Laundry on the... Oh, yes, I do see a flag down here right along the sideline.
There was also one in the middle of the field towards the...
I think that's that
back of the play.
Marker for when ball changes possession again.
But the Vikings are going to walk backwards. We're not sure what the call is, but I think I just heard a block in the back up here in the.
That's not a signal for blocking the back, though. That's like an illegal forward pass. And so that's going to take it out to the 30 or to the 44, 43-yard line.
Carson Lebensky lined up as under center right now.
Hasn't seen him go under center much. Brooks gets the handoff. Brooks powers through across the 45 down up to about the 47. And once again, Baylor Stickle with another tackle.
I think that was 99 Connor Stickland in on the stop.
Yeah, Stickle and Stickland both get up. It'll be 2nd and 6, and Bellbrook, I mean, they're methodically taking time off this clock as well. Letting the play clock go all the way down to 5. Brooks gets a carry to the outside. Brooks stays on his feet and will have enough for a first down.
Just shedding tacklers. And, man, if it wasn't for Baylor Stickle on that play, that might have gone for Pater. I mean, he's just in there on every single play. And, I mean, he was the only guy that was going to stop Brooks there. I see he just sheds defenders and tacklers.
Tanner Stewart leading the way on the block.
Nathan Ennis was also in there on the stop. Haven't called his name nearly as much.
Not as much as last week. And Lebensky, or no, that is Lebensky.
That is Lebensky.
He went under center. Took a hit there at the end, but it's a first down run for the Golden Eagles.
That was Stickle and Desmond Owens combined to crunch the current quarterback. You just see the nice double fake, and Lebensky's got 2 blockers out in front. He's able to cut up field, make a man or two miss, and
finally gets popped a dam by Baylor Stickle. Lebensky handed it off to the front man. That's Stewart. And he'll be close to another first down. A gain of 9 on the play by that run by the fullback.
You said earlier it looks like Mark Allstock, and I completely agree. He also has a little bit of Peyton Hillis in him. Just deliver a big old shoulder and just keep on moving, man.
Peyton Hillis had 1 year. Mike Allstock had many.
Well, that's for sure. I'm not taking anything away from Mike Allstock. Mm-hmm.
You see here as we approach about halfway through the 3rd quarter of our Collins Real Estate Services Game of the Week, and that will be a first down run for Bellbrook, and I think that is Brooks again.
It's just been so hard for the Vikings front 7 to slow down this offensive attack from Bellbrook.
You see there, I mean, I've looked at it. We've looked at it all night in the same couple of plays. This wing T offense, I mean, Miamisburg ran that for 7 years under Steve Chanel, and kind of a look back at this one, and you see there is a Stewart.
And there was nothing there for Stewart.
I think that might be the worst run of the whole night for Bellbrook, and that was still a gain of 2.
Fletcher Rose in on the stop.
So it'll be 2nd and 9.
You got to kind of have that bend but don't break mentality right here.
I think depending on what Bellbrook gets on this 2nd down play, it could be very well 4 down territory.
Yeah, especially with how much time they're eating off the clock every time they touch the ball. I mean, we're already halfway through the 3rd quarter. This one goes to Brooks.
Brooks gets about a gain of 5. Tackled by Dyer.
Down to around the 19-yard line.
But, I mean, Bellbrook, they don't have to snap this ball until 4 minutes left on the clock if they want to hold it. So, I mean, Miamisburg, there's the Viking horn. I think this is, the 2nd time Bellbrook's been held to 3rd down?
I think so. This is a 3rd and 6. It's a little bit longer.
As
Fakes the
Lebensky's
handoff.
going to Lebensky is going to get to the edge, and it'll be close. I think he got pushed out of about the 15.
And they're going to
mark be a yard
down
short.
Right at the 15, so that is going to force fourth down. We will see what the Golden Eagles decide to do. Most of the offense looks like they're staying out on the field. So this is a big play for the Viking defense.
This is big on both sides. 4th and 1. I don't even know if you can call that a full one. They got to get to the, it looks like the 14 and a half, and they're at the 15. Lebensky under center, and he keeps it, and I don't think he got it.
I don't think he got the push, Jared.
Refs come in.
And we're going to see.
They spotted him short. Miamisburg comes up on 4th down with a big stop. Well, they're going to bring the chains out.
It looks like they're going to measure it, but the Vikings are convinced that they got the stop.
It doesn't look like he got it from the...
I was about to say, Jared, from our press box seats, it looks like he is short by about 3 or 4 inches.
I would say about half the ball.
And they're finally going to bring out the chain gang.
Out. And see, this is where last week when the refs spotted it too quickly and gave him the first down, this is why you don't do that. And we'll see. I mean, we're going to tug that till the last chain comes out. And he is short. Miamisburg's defense stands on 4th down.
And I think you're right, Jared, about half a ball length.
Now we got looks like a maintenance man out there trying to pull out one more chain link.
Keep yanking the links.
It is Vikings ball. They get him up on 4th down with a huge stop. And by about, I don't even know if that's half the ball. That might have been the nose of the ball.
And exactly what the Vikings needed here in the closing stages of the 3rd quarter. Have a chance to take this thing down and cut the lead yet again.
Miamisburg got the stop. Now they need to work on this and finish on the offensive end. Your defense just got you the ball back, and you need to reward them with a drive and a scoring drive here.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a touchdown, but you got to get your team in field goal range. At least get 3 points. Make it a one-possession game. Start to put the pressure back on the Golden Eagles.
I think a touchdown might add a little bit more pressure. A little bit more.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
So it's going to be, that's Barr in the backfield. No, that's Vaughn. No, that is Barr. They're going deep along the sideline, and it is.
Oh, my gosh, he caught it.
No, the ref say he was out of bounds.
That was so close, Jared. It was, regardless that he didn't come down in bounds, that was an amazing catch.
That was huge.
And plays like that is why he's going to Cincinnati.
I want to see if maybe we can see a look at that again, not after this play. I mean, that was huge. Do it again. I mean, that's just where if you're on man, you hit repeat play.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of lined up that way. And actually, Barr's going to keep this one. No blocking, and he will actually lose about a yard on the play.
I feel like the Vikings got very fortunate right there that number 99, Tristan Hanks, didn't draw a block in the back there on the right tackle.
It was close.
I mean, I thought it was a fairly obvious block in the back, but nice job.
So Miamisburg forced the stop, and now it's quickly 3rd and 11 here.
And just like their first possession of this 3rd quarter, there's only been about a minute go off the clock, and just about ready to give the ball back.
Barr back to pass, throws it middle field. McGowan has the first down, plows over a defender across the 30.
And that is a dart to the big playmaker, Jackson McGowan, over the middle. He's a stop by Korber. He's been making a lot of plays.
Korber stopped him. I think he just tripped him up from when McGowan plowed over him. But if you're Miamisburg, you've got to be on the ball here.
It's a really nice job right there by the offensive line of the Vikings, giving plenty of time and room for their quarterback make the
I think that's
nice
the cleanest pocket Barr has had all night. But like we said, Miamisburg, you've got to be up on the line. You've got to have plays ready for this. I mean, you're approaching 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. Barr back to pass, going to whip it out to Davis, and that was almost a backwards pass.
Lucky they're not going to lose a couple plays on or a couple yards on that one, because that was a dangerous throw right there.
I think it went half a yard forward.
If that.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, 1:57 left here in the third quarter. Miamisburg's defense did their job. Now their offense has got to execute. You see McGowan's going to come down here to the bottom of your screen. Number 84 at the very bottom. Davis is going to get the high snap handoff to him. And Davis, inside run. Here's a late flag come in. And that might be a face mask the way I saw Davis got turned around.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Jared. Interested to see what they're going to call. And you've been on the money tonight, man. Every single
call. I got my lottery
call.
ticket on the way home. So that'll be a free 15 yards.
I'm driving you, so we split the winnings.
All right.
All right, there we go.
So the inside run has not worked all night, and I think that's the biggest play they've had, and that was a penalty because of the face mask. But Miamisburg has got, like we saw last week against West Carrollton, that pitch out to Davis and that pitch out to Copsey.
Well, I think maybe they need to try a little bit of an option thing, because Preston Barr is a very athletic quarterback. If you get him and Davis out there on the edge,
you're
going to make them decide, who are we going to go after? Is it Barr or is it Davis? And it's gonna make the Golden Eagles, make a decision.
Even better, put Brock out there too. Put Brock Vaughn out there too.
Put all three of them.
Yeah, there we go.
Put do a quadruple option. Put Jackson McGowan over there on the side too.
So 1:31 left here in our Collins Real Estate Services game of the week for week number 2. Miamisburg called a timeout as play clock was winding down. A minute and a half left here, and Miamisburg, I would say this is probably do or die. They got to score on this possession. Like you said, even if it's a field goal at this point, something is better than nothing.
Yeah, they're just not going to have enough possessions if they're unable to convert here to, be able to come back and win this game. They're just not getting the ball back fast enough. And, when they do have the ball, they're also not moving the ball fast enough.
So here we go. 1st and 10, just past midfield at the Bellbrook 49. Vaughn.
McGowan lined up in man-on-man on the bottom of your screen.
Barr back to pass, looks to McGowan, and this has worked all night for the Vikings when they execute, and with that wide receiver bubble screen coming in, and Connor Smith comes down with that block, and Miamisburg has picked up a chunk of change each time.
And that was perfect timing right there and great communication there by the quarterback, by Connor Smith, and then also by McGowan. Connor Smith gets there, delivers the block just in time, gives McGowan plenty of room, nearly able to pick up a first down.
Yeah, he was one more dance to the left, I think, and he could have easily had a first down. And you see now McGowan's going to go in motion from bottom to top of your screen. And he's going to go all the way to the top.
Davis lined up in the backfield.
Copsey in motion. Low snap and loose ball still.
I believe that Copsey when he came over,
we'll
got hit by the snap.
At that replay. I think the ball hit him and center hiked it too soon.
And great awareness there by Preston Barr to be able to get on top of that thing. That would have been just catastrophic.
I think Miamisburg's just got to let that one go to the end of the third quarter and regroup. 15 seconds left, and they're going to the line. Let's see if they try to get one play off. I don't know. With 10 seconds left, you want to hold to have more time to talk about this after the quarter.
But they don't really have time to.
Well, they're going to go for it. And Barr escapes.
He's able to escape.
Barr will be close to the first down, I think. And they look like he's about a yard short.
And that's a great job by McGowan. He ran to the sticks, and then he does a great job blocking the defenders, trying to do his best to give his quarterback room to get to the sideline and pick up the first down. Barr's just a little short. It was a great effort. And you talk about must-go-for-it situations.
I think this one definitely is going to go for it as we go into the fourth and final quarter of our Collins Real Estate Services Game of the Week for week number 2. Miamisburg looking at a 4th and 2 and definitely going for it situation here, trailing 17-6. Outside of that first quarter, Miamisburg has somewhat kept Bellbrook in check.
So look at scores from around the league. Springboro, their lead has been cut from 27 points to now it's just a 20-point lead. Winthrop goes 57 yards on 3 plays down the middle. It's going to cut the lead to 27-7. 9 minutes left in the third quarter.
I think this is going to probably be one of the biggest plays of the game. 4th and 2 as the Vikings come out. I almost could have caught that shirt thrown up. That cheerleader has an arm. That one almost made it up here. I want a free T-shirt.
Oh, they got a slingshot.
Oh, no. Never mind. She better be a softball player if she can throw it like that. 4th and 2. Here we go. This could definitely pay dividend to which way the ball game's going to go. Smith gets the edge. Smith has the first down. Spin move and inside the 35.
Great job there by Connor Smith.
He barely got to that edge, and I didn't know if that was going to happen.
Tanner Killen was chasing him down, number 12. He was not able to bring him down, nearly tripped him up. And, man, you see how hard he's running. I mean, he's just hustling as hard as he can.
Got out of Connor Punn's hands.
Pick up the first down and keep the
look,
drive
you see
alive.
Smith and McGowan running both up top, and how is that not too many men in motion?
Now Williams and
Copsey
all
go to the top right of your screen.
All 4
Play clock's
men.
at 3. Vaughn throws the middle of the field to Copsey. Copsey checks it down. Spin move at the 20 and be tackled at about the 18.
And I believe that's his 4th catch of the night.
At least, I would say.
And Copsey, he's been making all sorts of plays here in this game. That probably the biggest of the night. Is a great throw by Preston Barr. There wasn't a lot of room to deliver that thing. But he found the open man.
Smith gets the end around. Smith gets to the edge and I think that's the first time that's worked for positive yards all night.
Yeah, they've had a rough time getting to the edge, but that time he was able to beat Umina to the corner. Was able to pick up about 5 on the play.
And still, you would think that Miamisburg would be playing with a little bit more quickness, trailing by 2 scores. Copsey goes in motion. Copsey gets the end around, and Copsey breaks 1 tackle, but quickly right there, I think that was number 12 again. Killen right there on top. So gained a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 6 from the 16.
They've really struggled in these end arounds all night long.
You see, that's as far as Miamisburg's got to go to hit pay dirt on this drive.
There's not a lot of green grass in between them and that blue end zone, but man, they really, really need that badly right now.
Need this first 6 first.
Three seconds on the play clock.
2 seconds. Miamisburg,
just
barely got that off. Throws a check down to Copsey, and he has the first down.
Copsey with a big
and
play.
And he bobbled that. What hands by Drew Copsey.
And, that was not the smartest of passes. He had his defender standing right next to him, but Copsey's able to make the play, pick up the first down, or nearly picks up the first down.
There's a flag on the far side of the field. And that's going to be another penalty against this Vikings offense. Another false start. And that takes a big 3rd down conversion and puts it back at 3rd and 11 here.
And that is that one really stings for Vikings fans.
That was goal-to-go situation. And now you've got to, if you don't get it here, you've got to get a field goal.
Yeah, you can't allow for time to keep running off this clock without scoring. You just have to cut it to one possession game on this possession, no matter the cost.
Going to hand it off to Davis. Davis cuts to the outside, and I think that might be what they were doing, lining up where the field goal might want to go.
Lamina in there on the stop, and we are going to see the kicker, Hurt, come out.
And we also remind you, I mean, Miamisburg took a timeout early in that third quarter, so they only have 2 left in this game. So they got to be smart with them as we approach 9 minutes left here. This one is going to be a 36-yard field goal attempt here. Wind is at, I don't think there's any wind, no wind. Kick is up. Kick is
no good.
No good.
That is wide to the left.
Wide left again. Extra point, and now the field goals went that way. And
now what do you do if you're the Vikings?
You've got to hope you get a turnover quick if you're Miamisburg.
I mean, this Golden Eagles team, they're just going to look to melt this clock away.
You know where they're going to go. It's going to be Stewart and Brooks carries up the middle. Not even going to take a chance on being pushed out of bounds.
I would expect nothing less. Probably a couple runs by Lubensky.
Maybe. I mean, if he comes back out under center.
Oh, he is.
Okay. I mean, the first half, it was all.
The first half, he played wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's played quarterback the entire second half.
Can't throw it to yourself. Well, that's not true. Brett Favre's first passing NFL was to himself.
I was going to say, Andy Dalton scored a touchdown that way one time.
And Bellbrook takes a timeout. Kind of questioning that one. So as we approach, wind down towards the end of this game, we got a fun one next week. It's going to be the Sal Lancers coming up from Cincinnati and taking on the Fairmont Firebirds. Andy, we did that game for Fairmont week 1 against Alter, and that one was...
Okay, butt kicking?
That was butt kicking. Fairmont will take that, and they will ride with that. That is the largest margin of victory they've had in that rivalry. And I think, talking with some players, they said it felt good to finally give it back after Alter has done that so many times. Last I saw, they were beating Trotwood 31-6.
I have not seen an updated score, so we will stick with that.
But I mean, we're going to get to watch Drew Baker another time this year. That fullback for the Firebirds is definitely something to watch.
He's just impossible to stop. It feels like every time you watch him, the guy puts up 200 yards. And all those big offensive linemen.
And again, about a gain of 2. And I talked to him. I talked to Baker before the game last week, and I told him, look, this was a bonus when we were covering him week 3. I said, people have asked, and I said, oh, he'll have at least 300 yards by week 3 when we cover him. He had 202 in the first game against Alder, so I got to readjust that.
Have any clue how many he had last week? Or this week, I guess?
Not that I know of, but I know he's got at least 3 touchdowns. So, yeah, you see that eye roll.
He just never
with
stops.
Our fantasy draft tomorrow, I'm going to pick him.
I don't know if he's going to count, Jared.
Well, you're the commissioner. You can allow it.
I don't know if the other guys in the league are going to be okay with that one.
They can pick high school players, too. They just don't know about them. And that will be a first down run there for the Golden Eagles. And you would think of 1 or 2 more first downs could really put this one away. Bellbrook just going to let this one go all the way down. Play clock's at 5, and they haven't even left the huddle yet. And would they be content with taking the delay game?
I don't know. They ran up to the line.
No, their coach calls a timeout at the top of the screen.
And then you can kind of see him on your screen. He was like, come on, guys, you got to hurry up a little bit more. He's a little frustrated by that.
So 7.5 minutes left in this one.
So I went to a couple of 7-on-7s over the summer before the season started, and I saw the Bellbrook team. But, I didn't think they were that impressive. But, you know, I really didn't know that they were a run-heavy team. And, you know, there's no running in 7-on-7. So I guess I can understand why I was not the most impressed. But tonight, I mean, they have done nothing short of just shock everyone here in this stadium, at least on this side of the field.
We can go ahead and take a look at the Vikings schedule for the rest of this season. Start off the season with a win last week against West Carrollton. They're unless something miraculous happens, they're going to drop this one to Bellbrook. Then they're at Harrison. Then they play Centerville here.
Handoff up the middle. I believe that one was Brooks.
Then they will go at at Wayne, home for Northmont. Then they will be at Fairmont Friday the 30th of September. We'll be there for that one. Then they'll have a short week. They'll play Beaver Creek on Thursday night. Then they'll be at Springfield, and our game of the week finale will be right back here week 10, October 21st against the Springboro Panthers to close out the season. And if you want to look over at Bellbrook's rest of their schedule, they'll probably start getting into
Robinski with the pitch, and they're going to throw a flag on that one.
Bellbrook is going to start league play, I believe, next week.
Penalty on the Golden Eagles. Remain second down.
They will play Tecumseh at home, and then they will play Eaton at home. And they will go to Franklin. Then they will be home for Waynesville, at Middletown Madison, and then at Oakwood. Then they will finish their home season against Monroe the 9th week, and then at Valley View to close out the season. .6:33 left here in the game, and here's a strong pitch out to Brooks. Brooks tackled for about a loss of 2.
Nowhere to go there.
Bellbrook stopped by the Vikings.
It's 3rd and 13. And there's another update for the Fairmont game. It's 38-6 Fairmont in front of Trotwood Madison going into the 4th quarter for fans watching all around. And here's going to be a handoff to the inside. Stewart will be stopped for about a gain of 1 or 2 maybe. And
Baylor Stickle just making another play.
It was.
He's got 25
Baylor
tackles tonight or something like that.
I would not say we are too far off of that. It's a 4th and 8.
Big time hit, driving back. Tanner
And
Stewart.
that is hard to do with a powerful fullback like that.
Now it's time for the Vikings to give one last
I would
hurrah.
say this is one last chance. If you get a touchdown, or if you get any score quick. And Miamisburg has gotten people through. And that one's going to bounce backwards at the 40, at the 36, or the 31. I'm at the wrong 30-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 32. 2 ticks under 5 minutes. Miamisburg has 1 timeout. Or no, Miamisburg has 2 timeouts left. If they score, now here's going to come out my Tony Romo. If they can score before, I would say, 3 minutes left on the clock, and if they, Bellbrook's going to just run it again to try to run the clock down. You use 2 of your timeouts, you can get the ball back with about a minute and a half if you score before 3. And Vaughn going to the middle of the field, and Davis incomplete, double covered again. No, I think that was Blar, actually. I'm sorry.
Luke Cousins and Connor Pond there on the defense. There is not a lot of room to fit that thing in there, but he put it in the right spot if Davis was going to make the play. There's a lot of mustard on that one.
You're going to see McGowan down here at the bottom by himself, and that's definitely a size advantage for the Vikings if Barr sees it. Spin move. Barr steps up, hit as he throws, and that one almost intercepted and knocked away.
I'm not quite sure who that one was going to because
say
Dunaway and
4 or
Copesy were
9.
both there.
I know I talked about Miamisburg scoring before 3. They didn't even have
Just
the ball
hang
for
on to the
10
ball.
seconds. It's 3rd and 10 here, and I would say, would you say this is 4-down territory?
Oh, it's definitely got to be 4-down territory. I mean, it's a
Barr
two-possession
steps
game.
up as he throws, and that one just too far out in front of Copsey.
And it's really going to all come down to this. 4th
I think
and
he
10.
should. I think he might have had at least a shorter 4th down if he would have ran for a little bit there.
Yeah, we saw him take off a few different times last week. He had a 50-yard touchdown run, and got to kind of question as to why he's not scrambling quite as much tonight.
So here we go. This could be the icing on the cake. 4th and 10 from the 32. Barr back to pass. Barr steps up. Barr's going to run with it. Stays on his feet.
And he's not going to make it.
He's not going to make it, and that one will be a turnover on downs.
As the opposing sideline is going to erupt.
And that one is, you want to talk about questionable. On 4th and 10, you're going to try a quarterback draw up the middle like that?
I just think that he decided there was nowhere to really go with the ball, and he was trying to make a play. Christian Davis was not able to get a good enough block to give his quarterback enough room to get downfield. Tough way to give the ball back.
Now you hear we can't hear your chants coming from the Golden Eagle student section. And see, they all scrunch down again towards the bottom. And here's going to be a handoff to Brooks. Brooks up the middle, and that'll be a decent gain on 1st down, about a gain of 5, and Miamisburg quickly calls a timeout.
Going to get across to around the 34. Or I guess, no, right on the 35.
Now we got the overrated chants coming from the Bellbrook student section. I don't really know who they're talking about being overrated, unless they're just the team in general. Granted, if you go back and forth and look at what watch the next week, Andy, watch the smack talking between the two Barstool scouts between Fairmont and LaSalle.
Right. You did tell me about that.
You'll see. Everybody knows it's all in good fun, but they go for blood in there.
You have to make sure to send me those accounts so I can make sure to follow them.
Definitely worth a laugh. Maybe 2nd and about 5, I think, coming out of the Vikings timeout. Miamisburg out of timeouts. Brooks bounces to the outside and tackled, and looky there, Baylor Stickle once again. And actually, I think Miamisburg actually just took their last time out. I apologize.
So are we going to take an over-under how many tackles this guy had tonight?
Baylor Stickle?
Yeah.
I don't want to go over, but I swear he's at least been in on. He's at least been a part of 20, I would say,
right.
Between half tackles and whole or solo.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say 24 tackles.
You just had to price this right me there, didn't you?
Yeah, just a little bit higher. He has just been all over this field.
So it'll be 3rd and 6 as we approach the last quarter of our 4th quarter of our Week 2 Game of the Week, brought to you by Collins Real Estate Services. A huge shout out to the camera crew operators, interactive media students from Kettering Fairmont High School. We got 8 more after this one.
It's been a pretty good start to the season so far.
And this is the 3rd down play here for Bellbrook. Brooks gets the carry to the edge. Brooks has
He's
a
got
first
the
down,
edge,
and
and
Brooks is
that
gone.
Is an exclamation point.
Brooks with an exclamation mark on this 35-yard touchdown run for the, I believe he's a junior. Brooks is a senior. So that'll push the lead 23-6 with the extra point coming.
We've talked about it a few times. They lost a 2,700-yard rusher
You would not have
last
thought
season.
it. Just looking at the way this team is, you would not have thought it as that extra point is up and good.
Well, and I was just about to say, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but Brooks himself looks like he's working on 2,700 yards. I mean, only had about 75 last week, but man, he has just had all
And
sorts
look,
of
look
lanes.
at Tanner Stewart with that block on the
tons
edge.
of running.
That's what did it. Brooks in the end zone for him. That's his 3rd touchdown tonight. So Brooks caps off the night with a hat trick. Yes, things are starting to tighten up, and down in
We're going to have the
Winthrop.
Centerville game? Oh, the Winthrop
No,
game?
Springboro only leading 27-14 now with a minute left in the 3rd quarter.
And the same is true for Centerville. Only up 27-14. 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. So that one's starting to get interesting.
Well, hold on. It just updated. Wakalongo goes for a 58-yard touchdown run for Centerville, so that puts them back up 34-14. 50 seconds ago, that one happened. So, I mean, that's the senior running back. That one, when we get to watch him play, I think Springboro is our first game. We'll see the Elks. I can't wait to see how Wakalongo plays. He's definitely a returning senior. Oh, my. Now here comes Bellbrook with the "This is our house" chance.
And right now, Milton Union up 24-7
Ouch.
over the Valley View Spartans. That one is surprising. Valley View, in our time covering them, have been a very dominant
Here
program.
comes this quick pass to McGowan. McGowan out across the 35, out to about the 38.
Hit the big man on a screen or on a slant right there, and he was able to
That
pick
is
up a
about
ton of
the
room.
most success Miamisburg has had is with those quick slants or quick screen passes. And if you're Miamisburg, don't really have enough time to let that one. That was a bullet in the middle of the field, and that was just in and out of the hands of Connor Smith.
Yeah, he was not able to corral that one, and because he was even able to get his hands on it, almost ended up getting intercepted by Korber. Definitely was a step behind him, but dangerous play there.
I think the Bellbrook student section is going to let you know that he had butterfingers. Quick pass here to McGowan. That same play again. McGowan stretches upfield. McGowan will have a first down.
That was going to be really close. I think they're going to give it to him.
I think they did. And you see here, Miamisburg on the line quickly for that one.
You know, and this thing,
I think McGowan's going to. I mean, I think he slowly got to 100 yards tonight. Finally,
I believe so. There's too many Golden Eagles on the field, so Bellbrook is going to take a timeout.
there was 13 on the field. That's not just too many. That's too many. And how do you let that many get across?
And, you know, like, you got to love the energy by the coach because, yeah, this game is probably over, but he's still coaching with a lot of effort and hustle. He's running out there on the field to get that timeout in there. Once again, our MVCC Game of the Week brought to you by Collins Real Estate Services. As We got about 3 minutes and 46 seconds left here in this game. Barr back to pass, looking, and he's going to get hit as he throws it.
As he throws, and the refs quickly call that one done. And like number 8, that was Brooks
Sam
ready to go.
Vine.
No, that's 6, sorry.
Sam Vine was the big man, number 72 in there to get the hit.
6 was ready to walk that one into the end zone. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 47. No timeouts for either school. Look at Jenkins on the top side of the screen running down the field. Barr going to throw it in the middle of the field. Smith. And if he would have just went down, he had the first down.
Yeah, he took a step back, tried to make a play, tried to pick up a couple extra yards, and there's just no room there.
You see Miamisburg fans starting to slowly file their way out of Holland Field, and hit to beat the traffic home. Barr back to pass, throws it down the sideline, and that nice defense there by number 28.
Malachi
Smith knocking that one out of Jackson McGowan's hands.
And I feel like Connor Smith might have distracted McGowan a little bit. It looked like Smith thought the ball might have been coming towards him, and he started running towards McGowan, brought a little bit of extra traffic his direction.
This will be another 4th down play here for the Vikings, 4th and 2 from the 45. Play clock is expired, and they're finally called. So as we wind down the end of this one, Miamisburg will get evened out on the win-loss column, fall to 1-1, and they will pack it up and go to Harrison next week. And the Bellbrook Golden Eagles are going to break that goose egg on the win column. They're going to go to 1-1, and they are going to play at home against Tecumseh next week. Barr back to pass, throws it to the outside. Copsey comes down with a first down catch.
Nice job there by Copsey. He's got a bunch of catches tonight, but they just have not been the most effective plays.
And I would hate to see Miamisburg in an actual hurry-up offense, like a 2-minute drive, because this is not what you want to see.
Yeah, it takes them a minute to get lined up, and they don't really.
Middle of the field, targeted to McGowan.
You said
and
earlier.
Another one. I mean, threading the needle and throwing it behind your receiver is not a way to help pad the stat sheet.
Yeah, and you said earlier he threw it into quadruple coverage. That one, there might have been
was
five
yeah.
or six guys there. I mean,
McGowan was the only one there. And
the Golden Eagles have broken down into a zone here in the last possession, and
going to outrun that zone.
They're doing a really good job, maintaining their zone and not letting anything, develop into a big play.
Vaughn throws it to Copsey.
That one's Connor Smith.
That was Smith, sorry. And he got out of bounds, and that'll be 3rd and about 2.
Maybe they're talking to Jackson McGowan with that overrated chant.
I wouldn't say that McGowan's overrated. He's just getting put. I know, but
that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
His quarterback's not putting him in the best of spots to go make a play. Oh, well, what do high school kids know? We were a part of that once, Andy.
Yep.
we probably said the same dumb
Oh,
stuff.
you know we did.
There's a pass, and that one is a pass interference flag. And there's another flag
They're
and
gonna
another flag.
Call that one on Tanner Killen. He
Did he
was
finally get
over
covered
top of
for
the
it once?
shoulder.
So you went to Stebbins. Who was your biggest rivalry that you guys would always trash? I mean, every week you trash talk, but I mean, what's one that your bigger rivalry that you wanted to stick it to?
I mean, it was either Tip or Tecumseh. There was a lot of bad blood there. No longer in conference with Tecumseh anymore, I don't think.
Or Tip? No, they're both in the Miami Valley League.
Yeah, so Stebbins.
Oh, then that's right.
So we are all in the
Tip
same league
and
again.
Tecumseh or Tip and ended up joining the G-Walk for a couple of years, and then got into the MVL. Bar. There was a bullet. And what a hit. A, what a hit. B, what a catch. Killen, nice hit there on McGowan as he corralled that one in. I'm surprised McGowan held on.
Going shots like that is preparing McGowan for his time down in Cincinnati here in a few months.
And he's going to look that way again.
There's a
And
strike.
it is a touchdown. I believe that is Connor Smith.
Great job by Connor Smith, able to get into the end zone on that one. These last couple passes have had some heat on them by Preston Barr.
Throw it on a rope. I mean, it's a straight bullet pass. I mean, he is.
He looks like he's out here trying to win the starting quarterback job the rest of the
that
season.
is bad, but there's a. I mean, Miamisburg, you got to get better cheerleaders. You're running with your. I mean, there's a BU and then there's a huge space. I mean, nothing is better when Northmont runs up the field and they spell Bolts wrong.
Jared's taking all sorts of shots tonight.
Well, I'm sorry. There's 5 letters in Bolts, and when you come out running up the field spelling blots. I mean, Miamisburg doesn't have any room to talk. I have seen that was one of the big things on Barstool this week. Is I guess it was last season, Miamisburg scored a touchdown and it didn't spell out Berg when they were running up the field. It was Brug. So, I mean, you got one flag to grab and you grab it out of order. So, a minute 53 left. Miamisburg scores a touchdown and last 2 minutes of the game. Do we potentially see an onside kick to try and see what you got to work with an onside kick recovery?
You have to try with no timeouts. You can't just give the ball back with, no chance to score or anything. I mean, you gotta. You're gonna have to try for it, and you can see that
Bellbrook's lining up for it.
Golden Eagles are ready.
And if I'm Miamisburg, kick it right in the middle of the field. There's nobody. Okay, now they move somebody over. Okay, now I kick it more to the right side down here towards the bottom of the screen. Come up and
maybe
do one
right
of
around the 30. There's a lot of open green down there. There's only one guy back, and he's down around the 10.
And you kick it. You kick it to Brooks. One of the probably most for sure hands on the field, and you kick it right to him.
Yeah, that was. I don't think that's how they drew it up.
Well, I think one of the best onside kick recoveries we've ever seen was that 2 years ago that the Cowboys did that like watermelon kick against the Falcons. All Atlanta had to do was touch it, and they just sit there and let the ball roll for an extra yard.
Didn't they give up like 2 or 3 of them in that game?
I think it was 2 because Dallas was down like 28-3, something like that.
It was a lot. It was.
Yeah.
Should not have happened. It was just poor execution.
Somebody 1st and 10 for the Golden Eagles at midfield. That's going to be a handoff, and if we get a shot of the Bellbrook student section, they've got their phones out and they're singing goodbye to
They are
the Vikings.
partying over there.
I think this is the first time in 6 or 7 years that they've played each other, and Bellbrook's taking this like it's a big rivalry win.
Yeah, they are rubbing it in.
This one will definitely build playoff points for the Eagles. I mean, this is a Division I school for them getting the win. So, I mean, I think Division III
I believe so.
There you see, it's like they get louder when they see that they know the camera's on them, it seems like. We're going to hand off to Brooks again, and Brooks, your Miamisburg, you got to watch. Don't pick him up and throw him over.
Yeah, Dunaway began to pick him up, but he did not slam him.
You see right there, that was Dunaway, I believe, yeah.
Yep.
There you go. I better not do that.
Thought about it and decided he didn't want to pick up the flag.
You remember how loud Miamisburg student section was last week.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like they barely made a noise tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they were silenced from
the
the
beginning.
very first drive.
Strong pitch out to Brooks here. Brooks stays on his feet with that spin move, but it'll be all in about a gain of 1.
Baylor Stickle has been just
everywhere.
headhunting tonight. Came flying out of the secondary into the backfield.
And that one is going to do it. Bellbrook comes in and dominates from the beginning, wins 24-13 over the Miamisburg Vikings. Bellbrook will advance to 1-1 on the year, and they will play Tecumseh next week at home. Miamisburg will fall to 1-1, and they will pack up and head south to Harrison.
And I think our player of the game is a pretty easy one this week, Jerry.
Oh, yeah, Elijah Brooks, hands down. Number 8 for the Golden Eagles, 3 rushing touchdowns on the game. And we will see you guys next week as we will be outside Roush Stadium as the LaSalle Lancers will take on the Fairmont Firebirds for week number 3. We will see you there next week.
That'll do it, folks.
You can access MVCC from your Roku. Looking at the home page, select the Add Channels option. This will take you to the Roku channel store where you can find the Search Channel option on the left side of the screen. Enter in the word Screenweave and the Cablecast icon will pop up. This is a free channel, and it is where you will find different PEG access programming, including MVCCs. Once you add the channel, you can find it on your home screen with all of your other favorites. Inside Screenweave, you will find the Miami Valley Communications Council, among other access channels. Browse through pre-recorded council meetings or check out what is happening in any of our 4 MVCC channel streams.